This is not an Islamic practice. That's a cultural practice. And if Muslims are doing that, that horrendous type of action, this is un-Islamic, and if they were in a society like ours, they would be punished. So it's un-Islamic. Unfortunately, it's a tribal practice which is widespread in different parts of Africa and different parts of Asia. Unfortunately, it is widespread, but it is not Islamic. It is tribal. It is ethnic. It is cultural. It has nothing to do with Islam. Islam doesn't support that. So let's separate this issue and say, yes, Muslims are doing that, but it is not Islamic. Now, the reasons why Muslims are doing it, they say they're doing that to modify the agitation and the tendencies of women towards becoming too sexually explicit and motivated and seductive and so forth and so on. Yeah, I don't have to get into the details. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Genital mutilation. And this is also in Egypt, practiced in Sudan. What does Islam say about it? Well, of course, Islam is opposed to it. The practice as it is done in these countries is in fact mutilation. And Islam is 100% opposed to it. It is harmful to the women. So many women, die in the process. Huge infections, all kinds of devastating consequences. Does Islam support or allow female circumcision? Yes, but in a very limited or at a very limited scale. Prophet Muhammad found women in Medina doing this, and he told them to be very limited in their practice, taking only a small portion from the end of the clitoris. This is all that is really permissible from the Islamic perspective. So it has no more impact on the feelings of the woman than circumcision of the male has to the male. This is the basic practice which is permissible in Islam. Now, as we said, what is going on in Egypt and Sudan and other West African countries, this is something inherited from pre-Islamic times, which involved an extreme view of trying to ensure the virginity of the woman involved. This is an extreme approach to it. And Islam, as I said, because of the harm which comes from all of this practice, mutilation, genital mutilation, Islam prohibits it.
Islam prohibits, and it is impermissible for somebody to mutilate an organ of a person. On behalf of my friends here, the ulamas, the scholars, the Muslim scholars who are here around me, and the professionals, that we have not found any source that can be attributed to the Islamic law that a mutilation should be done to an organ of a human being. Leave that far, even you don't mutilate animals.
They claim that pastoralist communities borrowed the tradition from the Egyptians long time ago and amalgamated it to Islam.
Female genital mutilation has no basis in Islam. Whatsoever is being carried by Muslims or non-Muslims, especially the pastoralists, is purely depending on the culture which has been for generations within the communities, and it became a law for them. That is the position.
They claim the objective of the Islamic law is to protect the dignity, health, wealth, and mental capabilities of individuals and the community as a whole.
Genital mutilation contravenes the essence and the directions of the objectives of the Islamic law, which are, among others, to protect the welfare of family, dignity, wealth, health, and the mental capability of individuals and the community as a whole.
They said many a times FGM practices have been blamed on Islam, and the general public takes it to be an Islamic practice, which is very wrong.
We as Muslim scholars strongly uphold that female genital mutilation has no basis in Islamic law, as contrary to the cultures and norms of the African communities and the pastoralists who practices the same.
They want the government, in collaboration with the Anti-FGM board, to educate the community who practice FGM and try to remove the cultural viewpoint, which is hard to eradicate. For Channel 1 News Hour, I'm Emily K. Badi.